In our last segment, Adam Mussett discussed the climatology of tornadoes across Ohio, and we do typically see that maximum in tornado activity from May through July that actually accounts for over half of our recorded tornadoes since 1950, and we average just under 20 tornadoes per year across the state. But it's also important, as Adam Mussett discussed, that tornadoes can occur in any month as long as conditions come together, as they have been recorded in every month of the year across Ohio. And we typically see the weaker side of tornadoes, typically over 90%, or the EF2 or weaker, which can still cause loss of life and can cause damage. But we are also not immune to those larger violent tornadoes. We are approaching the 4-year anniversary of a major tornado outbreak that left its mark right here on West Central Ohio. Residents of Salina will never forget Memorial Day of 2019. On that night, a fierce EF3 twister with winds of 150 miles per hour completely destroyed 43 homes and damaged over 100 of homes in Salina. The tornado was just one of nearly 24 that struck the state, with a rare EF4 striking just outside of Dayton. For the Mercer County EMA director, it's his job to prepare for weather disasters.
Preparations are ongoing. That's what our job mostly is. We do plans. We speak to the public when we can, how to prepare themselves at home, how to have a plan, for severe weather, whether it be a tornado, a storm, a snowstorm, a blizzard, anything like that, flooding. Have that plan both at work, at home, at school.
Those plans were put into action on the night of May 27th. One life was lost in Salina when a vehicle was lofted in the air and thrown into a home. The EMA worked with area fire departments and EMS to comb through the wreckage left behind.
By daylight, everything had been searched at least twice, all the damaged buildings. But then, of course, the Ohio EMA is asking us for damage assessment right away. So as soon as daybreak got, we were out there doing damage assessment, got that into the state, and actually got a federal declaration for that, which brings FEMA in, which is a lot of work too, but they come with a large checkbook, and they do help individuals and families.
For Robbins, Salina is home, and the damage was extensive throughout his hometown.
We actually at least moderately damaged 100 homes. And I was born and raised here, so I am talking to, people that I know very well. Are the head nurse at our local emergency department at Mercer Health. Her home was destroyed, So when I go around and do that damage assessment, sometimes it makes it hard. But still, you have to let those people tell you those stories too.
While tornadoes grab all the attention, it is important to be ready for any weather disaster, and Robbins has seen it all throughout his tenure.
That is probably the most catastrophic and very looking, but we've had some very heavy flooding. 2003, we had a lot of flooding here, and that impacted well over 100 homes at that time. Now, those homes usually weren't destroyed, but they did do a lot of damage. And, we've had the ice storm that did a lot of public damage to electric power wires, a lot of roof damage and damage to homes, and a lot of wrecks. That was 2005, I believe. So, we have had several presidential declarations, and they all impact different people. But, if it's your home, your business that's impacted, that's going to be the most important one to you.
And while tornadoes tend to grab all the headlines, especially on YouTube and social media, when we look at weather disasters over the last 30 years, heat was the #1 weather killer. But you see what is next on the list, and it's something that we get often here in Ohio, and it is flooding. So we need to be aware of flooding and also lightning, winter storms. Here in Ohio, we can get it all. And it's important to be ready for when these weather disasters take place, because it's not a matter of if, it's really just a matter of when here in the Midwest. So are you weather ready? You want to make sure you have at least 2 ways to get weather alerts, whether it be a tornado warning or a severe thunderstorm warning. Do you have multiple methods to get those alerts to you? Also, do you have a plan in place? Because you want to make a plan. Identify where that safe place is, either in your home or in your place of work. Communicate that plan with your family, and you want to make sure you have emergency items either in that safe place or near that safe place, whether it be flashlights, non-perishable foods, or a blanket, to have at hand when that weather warning is issued. So we talked about being weather ready, and you can't be weather ready without knowing the difference from a weather watch to a weather warning. So a watch means that we have conditions in the atmosphere favorable for severe weather. We can go on with our day-to-day activities, but keep an extra eye on the forecast when a watch is issued. Now, the warning, on the other hand, means take action. So again, the warning means that severe weather is imminent or occurring, and that is the time to seek shelter and go to that safe location. Your smartphone can actually be your first line of defense when it comes to getting these weather alerts. Most of you watching likely have a smartphone, and if you have an iPhone, for example, you can just go to settings, go to notifications, and go down to government alerts and make sure those emergency alerts are turned on, and that is one way you can get either severe thunderstorm, tornado, or flood alerts sent directly to you. But also the Your News Now weather app is another avenue on that smartphone to get those weather alerts. You can get those notifications. Just make sure those notifications are enabled on the app. Go to the notification settings and make sure the sounds are turned on, so you will receive a sound when a warning is issued if it's in the middle of the night, so it'll wake you up. Also, look at interactive radar on our weather app to see where the storm is. You can also check out our latest video forecast on the app as well. Let's talk about how to be severe weather ready in your home. So where to go, you have that plan now. So when it comes to that plan, make sure it's an interior room in the lowest level of your home, away from windows and doors. You want to make sure you cover your head with a blanket to protect yourself from falling debris. And obviously, this should be a no-brainer here, but you want to stay away from electronics during a severe weather event. So when it comes to your home, let's talk about where you go. So the more walls between you and the outdoors as possible, obviously, is what we recommend. You want to stay away from any outdoor windows and outside walls, and that lowest location in your home as well. So in this case, it could be a hallway, it could be an interior bathroom, or even a bathtub. You know, when we look at tornadoes that strike, oftentimes we will find that the bathtub is the only thing left for many homes. So a bathtub, if that is an interior bathroom, that is a great place to go in your home. But if you have a basement, that's actually the #1 place that we recommend. Getting as low as you can go in your basement, that is the best place. If you have one, again, that's going to be your place to take shelter during a severe thunderstorm. But again, it's not just about your home. When you're driving, you need to make sure you're weather aware as well. So we recommend staying off the road if there is imminent severe weather. But if you have to get out, or if you find yourself just caught in the middle of it, you want to make sure you have ways and kind of have a plan of what you're going to do. So if there is a tornado warning, you want to go to the nearest safe location. But we know a lot of times that may not be an option. You might be out in the middle of nowhere and there is no safe structure to seek shelter. And in that case, the best advice is to pull over to the shoulder with your seatbelt on, duck your head down low, cover your head with either a coat or blanket or any items that you may have to protect yourself in your vehicle. And again, you don't want to get outside your vehicle, especially when it comes to overpasses. Oftentimes people mistake overpasses for a safe spot to seek shelter during a storm, but the matter of fact is when you're under a overpass, you actually become a stationary target for flying debris to hit you, and oftentimes those winds are actually accelerated, so the winds even get stronger because they are pushed in that narrow space underneath the overpass. So the bottom line is never use an overpass as your shelter during a tornado warning if you are out on the road. So we talked about tornado safety, how to get those weather alerts to you. Meteorologist Connor Prince is going to discuss the tools we use and how we can forecast severe weather and possible severe weather days in advance.